The main focus of this debate should be about how in this ever-evolving society, we should shift the focus and move to healthier relationships and connections between human beings. And by this, we actually mean that number one, relationships are not forced just because societies offer something that lasts longer, and people should actually feel comfortable to express their emotions and walk out if they feel suppressed or don't have the capacity to keep up with the relationship anymore. And relationships that focus on the quality, not the duration. And lastly, relationships that actually reduce the uncertainty in people, and later on we'll explain how uncertainty is what makes relationship side opposition so bad. Now, if opposition wants to take this debate, they need to answer how on their side, less uncertainty and forced feelings in this relationship won't happen and better outcomes arise on our side of the house. Two questions I'll answer in my speech. Number one, how there will be less stigma against the short-term relationship. And number two, how better outcomes in a relationship happens on our side of the house. Because this debate is not about what is the meaning of a relationship, but rather how on our side and for all sides, we can create healthier connections between human beings. A couple of flaws made by side opposition. First of all, they casually claim how with uncertainty and stepping into a relationship with a carefree attitude will make it more meaningful for people, especially the younger generations. And second, they never prove how on their side, relationships have better outcomes and develop a person's thinking and healthy mindsets. Now let's come straight to the clashes in which I'll prove while our side takes the win. First of all, first clash is that which side creates better outcomes towards a healthier relationships. A couple of things to remember is that number one, people don't just stay in a relationship just for fun. Some are very committed and want specific outcomes even if they might break up. And that being said, some people go into a relationship might feel uncertain and not ready, especially for the younger generations, and we have specifically stated this in both previous speakers. They may go into a relationship with little knowledge about the potential outcomes of their decisions, and youth may walk into a relationship too young since they may feel it's their obligation to do so, and potentially because of social pressure or peer pressure, exactly the reasons why youth relationships don't usually last long. And knowing the exact duration gives them a heads up about the duration and how long they will last in it. Now, what has opposition said? First of all, opposition's main claim in this debate is how people lack engagement, how they lack the effort, and uncertainty in relationship is what makes it so unique. However, it's crucial to understand that people don't fall in love because they don't know the end. It's all about emotions and their development that counts. And some teens may step into a relationship unknowingly what will happen and how their lives will turn out. And knowing the duration doesn't discourage them to actually step in. Because if they truly love a person, nothing will ever stop them. Just like those movies you see where parents cannot stop their kids from going into toxic relationships. Therefore, the point in which they talk about people feeling discouraged to walk into a relationship just does not stand. And even if this is actually true, it will only show that these people do not develop enough love for the others, and that duration helps them to see this only clearer. And most importantly, people actually choose to focus on things that matter only to them and not waste time for something that can potentially harm their well-being and leave them heartbroken. For instance, if they know that the guy that they met on Tinder will only last for no more than a month, it helps these people reconsider the decisions and focus on better things rather than these relationships, because at the end of this debate, this duration is only fixed. And secondly, they talk about how this will affect a person's mental health and make them no longer believe in relationships and love. However, we don't see how this will not happen on the opposition bench, because if people go into a relationship unthinkingly only to be disappointed, the mental breakdown is even bigger. And the last clash is on society expectations. We believe that society is complex and sometimes people are pushed into a certain type of relationship out of choice. For instance, you may be pushed to join a toxic group of friends just to fit in, or maybe get a partner or a boyfriend just to impress your peers that you are mature and you are able to discuss with like mature stuff. This duration helps them focus on the present, on what truly matters, and it reduces the stigma against short-term relationship. For example, if you end up breaking up even though you love each other dearly, or you get a divorce, it reduces the stigma that others may tell you that you are unable to keep up with the relationship and that you don't care enough for your kids if you do breaking up. On the other side, they talk a lot of stuff that is irrelevant. For example, they talk about how like some people are pushed into worse relationship because maybe they are weaker and they have less leverages and they cannot seek out to break up. Won't the duration actually help them with this? Because if you know the duration, then both partners will actually reconsider their outcomes and potentially focus on things that truly matters and go on to find a better partner for the rest of their lives. So by then, people not only save time, but they also like save their emotions, you know, they also develop better and they don't have like mental breakdowns if they are disappointed. So overall, for all of these reasons, we're the only side who can create healthier relationships. Proud to propose.